welcome everyone. I'm super happy that you are able to join us today. As said, my name is Anna. I'm a business enterprise consultant here at SAP for the business transformation services part, so consulting for customer products and retail. And yeah, I'm very happy to see all of you here. Special welcome also to our panelists. And as it is not about me today, I would hand over directly to you. So maybe let's do a short introduction round and start with you, Florian.
Okay, great. Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Florian and I'm based in Walldorf and I'm working in sales at SAP. So I'm responsible for selling our SAP procurement portfolio to the entire public sector industry. And yeah, maybe a fun fact beside as well about my person. So I would consider myself to belong to the so-called generation who graduates from high school and first of all goes to Australia. So I did that too, although I didn't go there only for traveling. I studied there and that's where I first had some sales and business related courses in terms of brand and sales management. And that's how I obviously ended up working in sales here. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you, Florian. That's amazing. I've never been there. So over to you, Kim.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Anna, for the introduction. My name is Kim. I'm Customer Solution Advisor at SAP Germany and mainly focused on the area platform and data management. So this means it's a pre-sales role, which means we're in contact with our customers actually before the actual solution has been sold to evaluate together with them their challenges and what they want to accomplish by implementing one of our solutions. So I'm directly in contact with our sales colleagues like Florian. And one fact, fun fact from my side, I actually started at SAP 1.5 years ago and started in the SAP Academy for Pre-Sales, which is a career starter program to get everything to know about the pre-sales job, how to talk to our customers, how to evaluate on their challenges and what they want to accomplish. And as you can calculate backwards, 1.5 years ago, unfortunately, we had to start from back home, so from home office. So unfortunately, I couldn't be in sunny California, which was actually supposed to be the place to be for all the Academy associates for half a year. But instead, I was in the more or less sunny Black Forest in Germany, which was also nice. So at least I didn't get a sunburn.
So you got directly into how to best prepare and present from your home office. So I think you're a pro in that then. But I still hope that you get to see or go to California at some point. Thank you so much. Okay, Michael, over to you.
Hi guys, thank you for setting this webinar, and I'm actually joined SAP in February 2019 as a working student and as an intern, and now this year I joined SAP as a full-time employee in a department of sales and support, and I will take a path to a support engineer, and yeah, looking forward to the session. Thanks.
Thank you so much. And last but not least, we have Oliver in the call.
Hello, my name is Oliver, and I work as a software developer in the area of ABAP Kernel. That's our own programming language. And I started this year in March, and in July, I also got the role of Scrum Master for our software team. And I do both parts equally, like 50-50%. Yeah, and that's all.
Thank you so much for that short introduction. I see we have lots of different roles and backgrounds, I think, in the call. So why don't we start with this? And I would like to start with Michael, actually, because I think you started similar to myself with the Career Starters program. That's how I joined SAP 2.5 years ago as well. So can you tell us a little bit about how you started at SAP, what brought you there, and maybe about the program itself?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I would say in my case, I just have chosen SAP because of general interest and passion in IT, and I was always as a kid curious about computers. I don't know whether, regardless, I have a business background in University of Ludwigshafen, and I have chosen SAP also because it's a global company with a long-term strategy and job security, possibility to learn, change your job completely if you want. Like they have this motto, which I like, bring everything you have, become everything you want. And I like also the corporate culture here, where people just more informal than in other companies. And of course, yeah, it could be also well-paid junior positions or different career starter programs, and of course, good corporate benefits and network. Yeah, if we just keep or stick to career starters programs, they could be different. They could be in sales or pre-sales departments. They could be also in development or data science. I have chosen logistics in service support. Yeah, because of my previous business knowledge, and I just found it's interesting to digitalize supply chain and to understand all processes deeply with some tech knowledge and consulting knowledge. Yeah.
And it's great to have that like condensed training at the beginning. I think it is about 7 weeks or so, right? That you have at the beginning to get to know SAP a little better. I think this is really of high value, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, sure. I have, frankly to speak, I have really this university feeling almost, because when you ended up as a fresh graduate, then you directly move in the new SAP university, so to say, and you have a program, you have lectures, you have a buddy who always supports you and who really, yeah, can have a special plan for you, for your skills, for your yeah, speciality, to your which types of skills you require for the certain role. And I would say, yeah, it's definitely a benefit career booster, so to say. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I really liked it too. So I think during the introduction, we already heard as well that Florian and Kim are also more in customer-facing roles. And actually, Florian, I heard through the grapevine that you were formerly at Hugo Boss. So what made you change your mind to come from fashion to SAP and IT? Could you give us a little insight into that? Because I'm super curious to hear that.
Yeah, that's a good question, and I get that question kind of quite often. So, well, after graduating in international business from university, I first of all tried to combine a passion and the job I'm gonna do. And since I was always interested into football, tennis, and all those games, I ended up at Hugo Boss doing sports sponsoring for that company. So I was working with the German national team, or FC Bayern Munich. And yeah, you can imagine that the first weeks were really awesome and exciting. But after a couple of months, I really felt like the daily business isn't challenging me. And I really thought a lot about what I want to do for my working life. And I talked to a couple of mentors, and I got a great hint. So that was actually that I shouldn't focus on combining my passion and the job. I should maybe rather focus on my strengths. And there was talking to other guys, interacting with customers, stakeholders, people. And from a previous internship, I knew the SAP Sales Academy, and I started to think about sales. But at the same time, to be honest, I thought I have no experience in sales. I have no IT background. So how shall I get this done? And well, due to the internship, I knew that there's a program, the SAP Sales Academy, a 9-month trainee program, let's say, which was really helpful for me to get into the IT world, to get into sales, and yeah, to help me to accomplish the job I have to do today. So we had several classroom trainings in California compared to Kim. So I was there in 2018. And there were awesome lecturers who taught us really amazing skills we need when we interact with customers. And that 9-month program entirely helped me to get prepared for the job and the role I'm doing today. Yeah.
That sounds great, amazing. So maybe over to Kim. I think you already mentioned it also during your introduction. You also did the academy, not sales, but pre-sales academy. Any experiences, or what were your experiences with the application process, the academy itself, the boot camp? Can you share a little bit light on that?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, it's also part of the Sales Academy. It's called SAP Academy for Pre-Sales, and it's not 9 months, but in this case, it's 12 months training. And we would have been together with the Sales Academy guys in the US, but now it was just virtual, but it still was a great experience. We had a lot of really interesting trainings. And as you said before, of course, everything in front of the camera, but at least we are now pros in recording videos and just leverage the digital assets that we do have right now. And so in the application process, I first had an interview with the recruiter, and you really had to show that you know what the job will be about. So that's also an advice that I could give to everyone in the call. It's really important that you make yourself familiar with the position. And I mean, in nowadays, the titles are quite complex at some point. And yeah, I mean, that's not only at SAP, that's all around at every company. And if you really know about what the job profile is about, you can also way more relate to it, and you know how to act in that position. And therefore it was just all about being authentic and showing them that it really fits to your personality. And that's also what they wanted to see in the boot camp. So after the interview, you got invited to a 1-day boot camp. And in there, you met all the other applicants. We were, I think, 20 people in total. And I have to be honest, at first, when I met all of them, I felt really this little, because everyone was either already working for SAP or working for the huge SAP partners or the hyperscalers. And I was working at a mid-sized company before. I was working in the IT department of a German manufacturing company that is actually well known, but only to the ones that actually also use these products. And when I was introducing myself, a lot of them really looked like they have never heard of that before. So I felt really little, but as you can see, it also worked out. So you don't have to have had an internship at SAP before. You just have to know about what the role will be about. And I mean, that's why we do have these trainings and all these career starter programs, because you will get trained in all the specific topics and all the specific solutions we do have at SAP. And I mean, there are a lot, and you can't know anything before you actually started. And that's really nice in all our career starting programs.
Yeah, I think that shows a good, is a good insight, because as we all started with some kind of program, we started new at SAP, and I think it's just a very good way to get into it and be proficient and get the information that you need for your role. So I really like those programs, maybe Career Starter Program or the Sales Academy, Pre-Sales Academy. That sounds like a great experience, and I can recommend it to everyone. We also have Oliver in the call, and I think during the introduction you also said SAP-specific programming language. So maybe if someone hears that, that is something that might scare them off. But of course, we also need that side in SAP, because we wouldn't be the software company that we are without development. So maybe you can share a little bit, how did you land at SAP? Because I know that your story is a little bit different. You did not join by a career starter program or whatsoever. So how did you join SAP, and what skills do you need to be successful in your role? Because you're also a Scrum Master, which I value highly.
Yes, so I came directly from the university. I studied physics at the KIT. And during my master's thesis, I mainly did data analysis and programming. I had to develop my own little scripts. And after I finished, I knew I wanted to be in IT, but where? And I knew SAP is near me, but I always thought it's a big company. They won't take someone who didn't really study IT. And around New Year's Eve last year, I found an offer for a replacement for parental leave, which was 6 months. And I just applied because I thought nothing can go wrong here. And my manager liked me, the team liked me, and they offered me this contract. And after 2 months where I learned Perl, a different programming language, which my manager really liked, they offered me a permanent contract. And I got the chance to work in the quality management in our team, which is mainly test frameworks. And then suddenly our Scrum Master kind of quit being Scrum Master because he was overloaded and there was no time left for this job. And I took the role over. And yes, that's mainly my job right now. What do I need to be successful? What helped me to get this permanent contract was to be able to learn new languages fast and effective. And for being a Scrum Master, it's mainly you have to acknowledge that every person is different who we're working with, and you have to listen to them, and yeah, you have to know how to work with people. Yes, but you shouldn't be afraid because it's a journey, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to say. It's a journey, and no matter where you start, in which role, or might it be not permanent, but then getting permanent, I think there are many ways to start at SAP, develop yourself, as you said, from developer also to Scrum Master, but sometimes also changing roles. And I think this is a huge advantage and benefit of SAP, that you can really start and then see where your journey takes you. As long as you're motivated and dedicated, I think all doors are open for you here. So we heard a lot about how you started here, but I think we have lots of people maybe in the audience who want to know, what can I do, how to apply, what tips and tricks do you have as new joiners, or not so new anymore, but still very young. So maybe we can look into that a little bit also. Do you have any tips or tricks when applying in general or specifically at SAP? Maybe Michael, let's start with you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, good question. I would say there are some general steps in the process and there are some specific depending on the company, but I would rather recommend like some few points, like just interview simulation, or train your interview before you prepare for an interview. Of course, look at your CV and cover letter, check. It's of course could be banal and really understandable, but it's always too good to refresh it, to change maybe a template, or yeah, to make a spelling correction, of course. So, but yeah, it's always important rather than format. And of course, research about the position and company, that you understand the role and the company and the maybe culture from the website is also a basic tip, I would say. And of course, if possible, use internal exchange who is already working maybe if you rather know if you worked as a student, maybe if you have friends maybe in this area, or just research what job is this. If you're a student maybe at SAP, they have also career advice service where more qualified HR personnel and people can help you and evaluate your documents and your candidacy, just to be sure that you have fit with this position. And of course, last but not least, then never give up, and don't give up after rejections. Better to apply than not to apply, and get interviews. Yeah, because interviews, it's already the half of the game, so to say. And if you got the interview, it will be highly likely that you then someday got an offer. Yeah, don't afraid to fail in interviews, because it's always good experience to get it done and better in the next one.
Yeah, to get more experience. And I can only agree. I've got lots of negative responses when I tried for an internship, and then I got in at SAP, and here I am today. So sometimes it's meant to be. I think, Kim, you said something very similar before, that know the job that you're applying to. Anything you'd like to add here as tip or trick?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Just be authentic and show that you are interested in the job that they are offering, or that we are offering at SAP. And for sure, I mean, in Florian and my case, it's a customer-facing role. You need to be a person that likes to get in touch with other people and likes to work together with other people as well, like pre-sales and sales together. And that's what we want to see from you as well, because otherwise, yeah, I mean, we can't know if you really fit to these positions. And just be authentic. As I said, I felt really little at the boot camp, but at the end, I really thought, okay, maybe I won't make it to the next round, because everyone was really great at that day and everyone could have made it. But yeah, it was just about being authentic and showing that you are the right choice for that position. And I really like what Michael said. It's better to apply than not apply for the job, and just try it.
Take the chance. Anything more to add, Florian or Oliver, that you would like to share?
Well, there's been very good examples mentioned, but maybe something I would like to highlight is that maybe focus and prepare a good mindset for every kind of interview or assessment day. As Kim already mentioned, there's plenty of applicants, and that's why I would suggest that you're humble when you enter an interview or an assessment day, for instance, and don't put yourself too much under pressure. When I think about the morning I went to the assessment day, I met people in front of the office who were flying in from Barcelona, for instance, working for other IT companies. And what I really love about SAP is that there's a culture which is more like we don't hire only for skills, we hire for attitude and character and for people. And obviously my case shows that people with no certain background can get a chance, and that's why I would just recommend being humble and work on your mindset and your attitude when you enter to the conversations.
Anything to add, Oliver, or has all been said basically?
Yeah, basically everything. What I can add is for more technical interviews where your knowledge of programming is needed, where in my interview, my manager had a little program where I had to explain how it works. And when you want to apply in this direction, you should be able to program and understand basic code. And it would also benefit if you already created a little program and can present it and show what you did already. Yeah.
That's very good advice for a more technical oriented audience. Thank you so much. So we're almost at the end. Time flew by. So maybe some final words, closing words. What motivates you basically to work for SAP and do your job and to be so successful as you are? Because how to reach your potential quickly was part of our title. So maybe you want to share just a few closing sentences with the audience. Oliver, should we start with you again? You've just talked.
Okay. Yes. How can I grow at SAP? That's a big point for SAP, and you get everything you need for that. You don't have to be an expert in any area. You are offered different courses, different seminars. It doesn't matter if you work in IT, in development, you can take seminars for sales or something else. And it depends how you want to develop yourself. You get the opportunity and the time also.
Thank you so much. Michael.
Yeah, I would rather add on or build up on it that development and self-development is really important for colleagues. But I would say, as I mentioned previously, the culture and the team is really important, because I really like at SAP what motivates me to work here. It's this culture and embracement of differences and keeping the promise and saying like it is. And this is really what breaks out all the barriers between people, and it makes it easier to work and to communicate. And of course, it helped me so much to integrate to a new team with the previous knowledge of this culture. And I would say it's also important to be successful.
Thank you. That's great. Kim, over to you.
Yeah, I can only agree what Michael and Oliver said. What I actually also like most about SAP is the culture, that everyone is so open-minded, everyone is willing to help and share their knowledge. And that's also how I can see development of every one of us, because we can reach out to everyone, even though we have more than 100,000 employees, and everyone is willing to share their knowledge. And we have this huge knowledge base. So just leverage it and ask questions, reach out to everyone. And also, even before applying, just feel free to reach out to us, to our SAP colleagues, and ask questions if you're not sure about what the program is about or what the job is actually about. We're really happy to show you around and show you what it is about.
Thank you so much. And closing words to Florian.
Closing words. Okay. I would give you the advice not to compare yourself too often with your colleagues, especially in sales. Every customer segment is different. There's a customer who has the budget and can afford purchasing another component, and there's some other circumstances which makes it a little bit harder for you to make the deal. So simply don't compare each other. Everybody is another situation, and give yourself enough time to develop, as well as trust in your strengths, and have the courage to assert yourself. That's what I would like to advise.
I think that is really good advice. Trust in your strengths and look at your own development. So I think with that, we're at the end of our session. Thank you so much to all of you for joining the panel, taking the time. Thank you also to our audience. I hope this was helpful for you.